Have you ever looked at your pocket change and wondered if you were sitting on a small fortune? Well, I've got some exciting news for you today. If you've got a 2003 penny without a mint mark, you might want to grab that magnifying glass and start inspecting. It could be worth a whopping $1.7 million. Sounds crazy, right? But it's true. Stick around, because I'm about to break down how this little coin turned into a big-ticket item and why you should start digging through your piggy bank today. Let me set the stage for you. You're rummaging through your jar of loose change, looking for a penny to toss in a wishing well or use to level out a wobbly table. But wait, what's this? A 2003 penny that's missing the mint mark? It looks just like any other penny, right? Well, here's where things get interesting. You see, pennies from 2003 were struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints. Most of them have the D mint mark on the reverse side, which indicates they were made in Denver. But there's a rare anomaly. A small number of 2003 pennies were minted in Philadelphia without a mint mark. And these little guys have some serious value in today's market. We're talking about a potential $1.7 million, folks. Now, I know what you're thinking. Sure, a penny is worth a lot more than its face value, but $1.7 million for one coin? That's a stretch. But here's the thing. This 2003 penny is rare. Out of the billions of pennies that were produced that year, only a tiny fraction were minted in Philadelphia without a mint mark. So, what does rarity equal in the coin world? That's right, big bucks in 2018. One of these pennies sold for $1.7 million at auction. The buyer probably did a little victory dance after the auction ended. I mean, can you imagine? It's not every day you find something like that in your change jar, right? Let me tell you a quick story about my own coin collecting journey. A few years ago, I was at a yard sale, the kind where you find random knickknacks, a few old records, and maybe a 90s Beanie Baby that's lost all its value. But there it was, a small, dusty box full of coins. I thought, hey, I'm not going to pass up a chance to score a rare coin. I bought the whole box for a few bucks. Fast forward a couple of weeks, and I started sorting through the coins. Nothing too special, until I found an old 1943 steel penny. Turns out, that penny could have been worth a lot of money, but of course I didn't know about it at the time. I didn't even bother to look it up. Lesson learned, right? The point is, sometimes the treasure is hiding in plain sight. And with the 2003 penny, you might be looking at something really valuable without even knowing it. You're probably wondering, why is this penny worth so much? Well, it's all about the rarity and the fact that this specific 2003 penny was never meant to be released into circulation without a mint mark. People who collect coins often focus on these rare, unexpected errors, especially when the error involves something as small and unassuming as a missing mint mark. If you're wondering whether your penny could be one of the lucky few, check the reverse side of your 2003 penny. If it's missing the D mint mark, meaning it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, then you could be in for a big surprise. However, I'm not saying you're guaranteed to strike it rich. It's not every day you come across a $1.7 million coin, but it doesn't hurt to check, right? So, the next time you find a penny lying on the ground or floating around in your couch cushions, don't just toss it aside. It could be worth more than just 1 cent. And hey, if you happen to find a 2003 penny without a mint mark, maybe it's time to call up a coin expert and start thinking about what you'll do with all that cash. If you enjoyed learning about this little treasure, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got tons of tips and strategies for finding valuable coins hiding in your everyday change. You don't want to miss out on learning how to spot other rare coins worth serious money. Keep hunting, keep collecting, and who knows? Maybe the next big find is sitting right in your pocket. Hey there, coin lovers. Imagine finding a coin that could be worth more than your car, or even your house. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about a little penny that could make you rich. Yup, you heard me right. This isn't just any old penny. I'm talking about the 1952 Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and if you have one, you might want to sit down. It's worth up to $1.8 million. Stick around to find out how this tiny coin could be the treasure you didn't know you were sitting on. Alright, so let's break this down. You might be thinking, it's just a penny. What's so special about that? Well, my friend, this is one of those moments when a little bit of history, some rare minting errors, and pure good luck collide into a jackpot of epic proportions. The 1952 penny was minted in San Francisco, and typically, these pennies are worth just 1 cent. Duh, right? But there's something about certain 1952 pennies that makes them really stand out from the crowd. You see, the ones that are worth a ton of money are those with minting mistakes, also known as errors. One of the rarest types is the double die error. This means that the coin was struck twice during the minting process, resulting in a blurry, double image on the coin. Now, I know what you're thinking. How in the world do I even know if I have one of these rare pennies? Well, don't worry, I've got you covered. Look closely at the letters, numbers, and the image of Abe Lincoln. If you notice a blurry or doubled image, you might be sitting on a small fortune. Seriously, the value of these error pennies can range anywhere from a couple $100 all the way up to $1.8 million, depending on the condition and the error. That's right, $1.80 million. Let me share a story with you. So, I once found a coin in my grandfather's old coin jar. It was a little tarnished, a little scratched up, but I thought, hey, it's a penny. I'll toss it in my pocket. Big mistake. I later realized that penny was from the 1940s, and in good condition, it could have been worth more than $50. A rookie mistake, right? That's when I started paying more attention to details. It's all about doing a little research and knowing what to look for. Now, you don't have to go digging through every penny in your collection, hoping for a lucky find. There are a few tricks that can help you speed up the process. First, check the mint mark. That tiny little S on the 1952 penny is your clue. Second, don't just focus on one coin. Check out other coins from the same year. You might find a similar rare error. And third, condition is key. The better the condition of the coin, the more valuable it is. Coins that are shiny, well-preserved, and show minimal wear tend to fetch higher prices. But hey, I know what you're thinking. Okay, so I've got a 1952 penny. Now what? Well, the next step is to take a closer look at the market. The rare error pennies are often sold at auction, and some people have made hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. If you have one of these error coins, you're going to want to have it appraised by a professional. And no, your buddy Dave who collects coins isn't a professional. Sorry, Dave. So, what can we take away from all this? If you have a 1952 penny, it's time to start checking for those rare errors. Whether it's a double die or another type of minting mistake, there's a chance you could be holding onto a fortune. But here's the thing, don't just take my word for it. Get that penny checked out and see if it's worth more than your car payments. And hey, if it's not worth much, at least you've learned a little something about the crazy world of rare coins. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips and tricks on how to find coins worth money, make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss out on the next big find. And who knows, maybe your next treasure hunt is just one penny away. We're diving into a wild story about a coin that could make you $1.9 million richer. Yes, you heard that right, $1.9 million. And no, I'm not pulling your leg. It's all about the 1978 Abraham Lincoln penny without a mint mark. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you might just go rummaging through your couch cushions. So, here's the deal. Most of us probably don't give a second thought to pennies, right? They're the smallest, most ignored coin in our wallets, just hanging out at the bottom of our pockets, waiting to be forgotten. But, as I'm sure you've heard, some coins are more valuable than they appear, and some have crazy rare flaws that can send their price soaring. And that, my friends, brings us to the legendary 1978 penny with no mint mark. Now, if you're wondering, what the heck is a mint mark? Don't worry, I've got you. The mint mark is that little letter on most coins that tells you where the coin was made. Most pennies will either have a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But a 1978 penny with no mint mark? Well, that's what makes this one so rare and valuable. You see, the story goes that in 1978, some pennies were accidentally struck without the mint mark, and boom, we have a coin that wasn't supposed to exist. And now, thanks to that tiny, almost invisible mistake, some lucky collectors are paying big bucks for this particular penny. We're talking about values that can reach up to $1.9 million. Yep, you could buy a small island with that kind of cash or, a lot of pizza. You might be asking yourself, how do I know if I have one of these rare pennies? Well, let me give you the rundown. First, check the date. 1978 is the key. Next, flip that penny over and look for the absence of the mint mark. If there's no D or S, you could be holding onto something special. But let's be real for a second. Finding one of these is like finding a needle in a haystack. But hey, it could happen, and if it does, get ready for your retirement fund to thank you. Now, let's take a step back and put this into perspective. Imagine you're going through some old coins you found in your grandparents' attic. You stumble upon a 1978 penny, and you think, just a penny. No big deal. You toss it into a jar full of other random coins, right? Wrong. That penny could be your ticket to the big time. And believe me, I've been there. I remember going through a jar of change once, and instead of finding $1 million coin, I found a handful of expired parking meter tokens. Not quite as lucrative, but hey, I was hopeful for a moment, so what's the takeaway here? Coin collecting is a bit of a treasure hunt, and you never know when you might stumble upon a golden nugget. Literally, the 1978 penny with no mint mark is just one example of how a little mistake can turn into a massive payday. And while it might be a long shot to find one, it's always worth checking your change. And if you enjoyed learning about this rare penny and want to hear more tips on coins that could be worth a small fortune, make sure to subscribe. You never know when the next coin could be worth big money. You'll get all the latest coin news, tips, and strategies right here. Trust me, you don't want to miss out. Thanks for watching, and good luck on your own coin hunting adventure. Who knows, maybe your next penny will be worth $1 million. And hey, if you do find one, don't forget to come back here and tell me about it. Have you ever rummaged through your spare change and thought, what if I found a coin worth a fortune? Well, today I'm going to tell you about a coin that's probably hiding in your pocket right now, the 1982 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And guess what? This little penny could be worth up to $1 million. Yep, you heard me right. So, grab your magnifying glasses and let's dive into this wild world of coin treasures. You're probably sitting there thinking, a penny? Worth $1 million? Am I dreaming? Well, let me assure you, this isn't a joke. The 1982 D penny could very well be the jackpot of your change jar. But wait, don't start tossing your pennies around just yet. There's a little more to it than just any old 1982 penny. First, let's talk about why this penny is so special. The 1982 D penny is a rare variety of the penny that was accidentally minted with the wrong kind of metal. You see, the U.S. Mint switched from copper to zinc for pennies in 1982, but some pennies were accidentally made with the copper composition. This means that not all 1982 pennies are created equal. Some are made of copper, and some are made of zinc. And the copper ones, especially those with the D Mint mark, are the ones you want to keep your eye on. Now, here's where the magic happens. A rare batch of these 1982 D copper pennies ended up being worth more than their face value. How much more? Well, depending on the condition and rarity, they can fetch a staggering $1 million. Yep, you could literally find a coin worth more than your car, your house, or that fancy espresso machine you've been eyeing. But how can I tell if I have one of these $1 million pennies? You might be asking. Great question. First off, you need to look for that D Mint mark. It's located just beneath Lincoln's shoulder on the front of the coin. If the mint mark is there, you're halfway to a fortune. Next, you want to check the weight and composition. The 1982 D copper pennies have a heavier, more solid feel compared to their zinc counterparts. If you have a scale, weigh it. A copper penny will weigh about 3.11 grams, while the zinc ones are around 2.5 grams. If you don't have a scale, no worries. Sometimes, you can tell just by holding the coin and feeling the difference. But let's be honest, if you're really committed to finding a winner, get yourself a scale. Now, I know some of you are probably saying, okay, but how do I find one of these $1 million coins? Well, let me tell you a little story about my own coin hunting adventure. A couple of years ago, I was at a garage sale, just casually looking through some old books and knickknacks. I stumbled upon a box of loose change. Nothing special, just a bunch of pennies, nickels, and dimes. But I couldn't resist. I started flipping through the pennies, checking the dates and mint marks. And guess what I found? A 1982 D penny. I thought, this is it. This could be my big break. But here's the thing. It wasn't a copper one. It was a zinc penny, And even though I was a little disappointed, I held on to it because you never know. Fast forward to a few months later, and I found myself diving into a massive penny haul from an estate sale. I sifted through the pile like a treasure hunter on a mission, and that's when I found it. Another 1982 D penny. This time, it was the copper version, and it was in pretty decent condition. I couldn't believe it. Of course, I still had to get it verified and appraised, but that moment felt like I was on the verge of winning the coin lottery. Now, I didn't walk away with a cool million, yet, but the experience taught me something. It's not always about finding a treasure instantly, but knowing what to look for that counts. And that, my friend, is what's going to make you a coin hunting pro. So, now you know the secret to finding a potential million-dollar penny hiding in plain sight. It's all about the 1982 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny with that rare copper composition. But remember, it's not just about luck. It's about knowing what to look for and understanding the value of these unique coins. Now, I want to hear from you. Have you found any rare coins in your change? Or maybe you have a collection of pennies sitting around waiting to be worth a fortune. Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. And if you want more tips on how to find coins worth money, strategies for spotting hidden gems, or just some good old coin hunting fun, make sure to hit that subscribe button. You won't want to miss what's coming up next. Until then, keep searching those pockets and change jars. You never know when a penny might turn into $1,000,000. All right, hit that subscribe button for more tips, tricks, and hilarious coin stories, and let's keep this treasure hunt going. Who knows? Your next penny could be worth more than you ever imagined. You ever find a penny on the ground and think, it's just a penny, and walk on by? Well, what if I told you that one single penny could be worth a staggering $1.5 million? No joke. This isn't some rare, ancient gold coin or some wild treasure buried in the backyard. It's a 2015 Abraham Lincoln penny, but with a twist. And trust me, this story is wild. Stick around because I'm going to explain exactly why this particular penny could be your ticket to riches. If you've ever picked up a penny and thought, this thing's worth more than face value, this is the video for you. All right, let's dive into it. Most of us have probably seen a 2015 Lincoln penny. It's got Honest Abe's face, the memorial building on the back, and a mint mark that says D for Denver or P for Philadelphia. But what if I told you there's a version of the 2015 penny that doesn't have a mint mark at all? Here's where it gets interesting and a little bit mysterious. See, most pennies are minted at either the Philadelphia Mint or the Denver Mint. That D or P tells you where it came from. But in 2015, there was a weird glitch. A small batch of pennies was made in Philadelphia without any mint mark at all. And guess what? That tiny error has made these pennies worth way more than the 1 cent you'd expect. In fact, one of them recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.50 million. Now, you might be thinking, how could a penny, of all things, be worth that much? Great question. Let me tell you a little secret about coin collecting. The world of numismatics is full of surprises. A small mistake, like missing a mint mark, can turn an otherwise common coin into a highly sought-after treasure. This penny wasn't just rare because of the missing mint mark. It was also in mint condition, like, it was practically flawless. Coin collectors go nuts for rare errors, and when it's in perfect condition, well, that's when the big bucks start rolling in. I've probably got one of these in my pocket right now. Well, maybe not. But here's how you can check. If you've got a 2015 penny and it's missing the mint mark, don't just toss it aside. Inspect it carefully. Is it shiny and pristine? Or is it a little worn down from years of bouncing around in your wallet? If it's in good condition and you've got that mint markless 2015, you could have a hidden treasure. Speaking of treasure, let me share a quick personal story. A few years ago, I found an old coin in a change jar that had been sitting in my kitchen for who knows how long. I was sure it was just a random coin, but I decided to give it a closer look, and boom! It wasn't just a regular coin. It was a rare 1969 penny with a double die error. I was totally shocked. I had no idea what it was worth at the time, but once I found out, I was doing some happy dances all over the house. That penny turned out to be worth about $500. It was a nice little surprise, and trust me, if I had just tossed it aside, I would have never known. So, check your pockets, your drawers, and your change jars. You never know when you'll find a gem. Coins with errors or rare qualities are out there, waiting for you to find them. And it's not just pennies that are valuable. You can find rare dimes, quarters, nickels, and even dollar coins that could be worth a pretty penny. If you want to stay ahead of the game and keep discovering coins that are actually worth more than you thought, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I've got more tips and tricks to share with you on how to spot valuable coins and strategies to build a solid coin collection. You don't want to miss out on that next big find. So, next time you see a penny on the ground, maybe take a second to give it a closer look. It could be the one that makes you rich, or, at the very least, gives you a great story to tell. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time with more coin tips and treasure hunts. Did you know that a single penny, yes, a penny, could be worth a whopping $1.9 million? I know, it sounds like something straight out of a treasure hunt movie, but it's true. We're talking about the 2017 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. And trust me, it's not your average pocket change. Stick around, and I'll tell you why this penny could be the golden ticket you didn't know you were holding now, before you start digging through your couch cushions like a maniac. Let me set the stage. We're diving into the world of rare coins, what makes this penny special, and how you might just find yourself with a small fortune without even knowing it. Alright, so first things first, let's talk about this 2017 D Mint Mark penny. You've probably come across a million of these over the years. Heck, you might even have a jar of them in the kitchen, right next to the dried-up batteries and expired coupons. But here's the kicker. Most of those pennies are worth, well, a penny. Some might be worth a little more if they're in great condition, but nothing that'll make you rich. However, the 2017 D penny, specifically the ones that are misstruck, have turned into a rare collectible that's gaining some serious attention. These pennies weren't made correctly during the minting process, and because of that, their value skyrocketed. Instead of being a perfect, shiny little copper coin, these pennies had an error. The design was off-center, creating a one-of-a-kind look. It's like if your favorite pizza got cooked on the edge of the oven and half of it was extra crispy. Not everyone would want it, but for some, it's exactly what they're looking for. Now, here's where things get a little crazy. The value of one of these 2017 D pennies is not just a couple bucks. No, no, no. A specific example of this coin, sold through a private sale, went for $1.9 million. Yes, million. It's insane, right? And what's even crazier is that the coin in question had a really subtle error. It's not like it's some massive, glaring mistake. It's almost like a hidden treasure that only the sharpest eyes can spot. If you think about it, that penny you got from the cashier last week could be the next big thing. But here's the catch. You're probably not going to find one just sitting there, looking all glossy and perfect. You have to be sharp, and you need to know what to look for. A quick tip: check the mint mark. If it's a 2017 D, meaning it was minted in Denver, you might just be holding something special. This reminds me of a time when I was in college and I found a random coin in my pocket. It was this old, tarnished quarter, and I thought it was just some junk change. I was about to throw it into the vending machine when I noticed something strange. It had a little silver hue to it, and it was older than most quarters I'd seen. Fast forward, I did a little research, and guess what? It turned out to be a rare silver quarter, worth a few $100. Yeah, I sold it, and let me tell you, that college pizza fund never looked so good. Now, I'm not saying you'll find something like that every day, but it's always worth taking a closer look at your change. You never know when that penny or quarter is going to have some hidden value that'll pay for your next vacation or a giant pizza. So, to wrap it all up, if you happen to find a 2017 D Abraham Lincoln penny that looks a little off-center or unusual, don't toss it away. It could be worth way more than you think. A simple mistake at the minting stage can make it a collector's dream, and that little penny could be the jackpot you've been waiting for. Now, I know it's not likely that we'll all be sitting on $1.9 million in pennies, but every collector knows finding rare coins is all about patience, luck, and a little bit of knowledge. So, make sure to give those pennies and coins a second glance before you spin them. And hey, if you want more tips and tricks on finding coins that are actually worth something, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. You'll get notified every time we drop a new video with tips to help you build your coin collection or, better yet, spot the next big winner. Did you know that a simple penny from 1967 could be worth more than a small car? I mean, We're talking about a coin that could potentially fetch $1.5 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1.5 million for a penny. But wait, how in the world does a regular, everyday penny end up being worth more than a new car? Stick around, and I'll break it down for you. You'll never look at your pocket change the same way again. Alright, let's dive right into this mind-blowing piece of coin history. The 1967 Abraham Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Now, we all know pennies, right? They're the little guys that nobody really cares about. They're the ones you throw in a jar at the end of the day. Or, if you're anything like me, the ones that mysteriously pile up in your couch cushions. But what if I told you that one specific 1967 penny, with no mint mark, could be worth a fortune? You see, normally, pennies have a mint mark, a small letter on the coin that tells you where it was made. There are 3 mints in the US that produce coins: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D; and San Francisco, S. But in 1967, something strange happened at the Philadelphia Mint. A bunch of pennies were produced without a mint mark. These pennies, often called no mint mark pennies, are incredibly rare and highly sought after by collectors. The rarity and the mystery behind these coins make them valuable. How valuable? Well, there's one 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny that was recently valued at $1.5 million. Yup, you heard that correctly. Someone paid over $1 million for a penny that most of us would overlook. Pretty wild. Huh? How in the world do I know if I've got one of these bad boys in my collection? Good question. First off, check your pennies from 1967 carefully. Look at the back. Is there a mint mark? If not, congratulations. You've got a potential gold mine on your hands. But don't get too excited just yet, because there's more to it than just the lack of a mint mark. The coin's condition is a big factor in determining its value. If your penny is worn down, scratched up, or corroded by the harsh realities of life in your pocket, it's probably not going to fetch you millions. But if it's in great shape, say, a mint condition piece, it could definitely be worth some serious cash. Now, here's where it gets interesting. These pennies are also a bit of a mystery. No one's 100% sure how or why these coins slipped through the cracks without a mint mark, and that's what makes them so valuable. Coin collectors love a good mystery. It's like the Indiana Jones of the coin world, where every penny could potentially lead to an ancient treasure. And I gotta admit, I've had my own personal experience with finding rare coins, though, unfortunately, none were worth $1 million. A few years ago, I was sorting through a pile of old change from my grandpa's house. Among the usual mix of outdated dimes and quarters, I found a weird-looking 1943 copper penny. I got so excited because I thought I'd struck it rich. Turns out, it was a replica. Big bummer, but hey, at least I got a cool story out of it. So, how can you increase your chances of finding one of these hidden treasures? First, keep your eyes peeled. Check your pocket change, and when you visit yard sales, antique stores, or even your local coin shop, ask about rare finds. You never know when a penny could make you a millionaire. Alright, so there you have it. The 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny, a rare and valuable coin that could be worth up to $1.5 million. So, if you've got any 1967 pennies lying around, it's time to dig them out and check them over carefully. It might just be the treasure hunt you've been waiting for, and hey, if you're into coins, want more tips on finding valuable ones, or just love hearing crazy coin stories, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss out on any of our future coin tips, tricks, and treasure hunts. Who knows, your next video might just help you spot the next $1 million penny. Thanks for watching and happy hunting. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me if you've ever found anything rare in your change. Also, share this video with a friend. Maybe they've got a hidden treasure sitting in their couch cushions too.